the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody, and happy Friday to you. It's always fun to be here on a Friday here on the Auburn Blitz Podcast. Brett and Faith with you, and again, glad that you make Auburn Blitz part of your daily watch and listen for all your Auburn content. A lot to dive into, a lot of things going on yesterday and into this morning. Faith, good to see you. We had a busy day yesterday all over the place. But, man, our phones were going off all day with all the different news that was breaking pro and con for Auburn yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Very busy, but also the phone did not stop dinging the entire day. So
what's new for my phone anyway, right? That's just a normal day for me, right?
No kidding.
I'm ready to throw it out outside and run over it with a car. But we'll go ahead and get started by thanking some of our partners. First off, Sensagreen, Faith.
Yeah, Sensagreen for air that's cool and clean. Call on Sensagreen. They are the carrier dealers for the state of Alabama, and they will help make sure that your summer isn't going to be a humid summer inside your house. I know that a lot of people they live in the South and it's going to be humid outside, and you don't want that in your house. So make sure you get a unit with Sensagreen, and they will save you thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. And nobody wants a hot house. And about the time this heat comes in, some of these older units will be dying. Now's the perfect time to go ahead and get it taken care of.
Before it's too hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Because boy, it just turns over, man. It goes from all right, it's cool, and then all of a sudden it's scorching hot. So make sure you call on them. Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm located in Birmingham, but serving really the Southeast, and so many projects they have going on. And Sloan and Jay, Faith, good people. Charles, we love those guys, and they do such a great job. Have so many projects going on, and they'll take you from the pre-construction phase all the way to the final product. Call on Scout Program Management for all your construction needs, their management needs. Bunkers in downtown Auburn, Faith.
Yeah, Bunkers. We know I love going to Bunkers. Next, it's going to be me actually working on my golf skills and on my eating skills there, because they serve the best food. So next time we'll go there, and maybe we'll play one of the other 27 sports that they have on that golf simulator. You can rent out a bay with your friends, family, whoever, and work on your golf swing after you just watched the Masters this past weekend. So if you want to try to go out there and look like Rory, do your thing.
How about that? No doubt about it. Yeah, maybe a little lacrosse or field hockey or whatever we might want to try.
Yeah. Hey, they've got football there too.
That's right. That's your pass, though. A little lacrosse there.
It is.
To showcase your skills, your mad skills there. All right. Portal movement. Man, so much going on. Let's start at the top. Obviously, the biggest news, Chad Baker-Mazar deciding to jump in the portal, and there's a lot of talk around this move and why he did it and what was going on. And you and I pretty much confirmed through a couple of sources yesterday that his camp had signed or agreed to a deal to come back to Auburn. And maybe they wanted to kind of shop his marketability around a little bit. So when you get in the portal, you can do that. And so he jumps in the portal. Where does that end? Is he gone for sure? Don't think anybody knows that right now. But he chose to get in the portal, and he's got 1 year of eligibility left. What do you think?
Well, nowadays, it's not unusual for people to see how much they're worth by jumping in. So I feel like him doing that is my thing. I don't understand him signing and agreeing that he's going to stay and then going and doing that. That's kind of where I'm confused about what it's going to be like if he decides not to stay. So I think Auburn, we wanted to keep him here.
Oh, Bruce
yeah.
wanted him back.
Now, if we're going to have to look for, another person to fill in the depth of the roster with losing him is a huge gap that needs to be filled, and it needs to be filled quick.
I think the key question is everybody's got a value, and with so much roster turnover for Auburn and having to go out in the portal and get, 2, if not 3 big guys down low, and then getting some guys in the front court as well, and just kind of the whole roster turnover. I mean, that we see not just at Auburn but Alabama, and we talked to somebody yesterday that talked about Baylor's complete. Yeah, I don't know what day it is. You and I do this every time. By the way, it is recorded for all of you that are going to be commenting. We didn't give that disclaimer like we normally do, but we did. Technically, when I said today, it was true. But as we do this on a Friday morning, it was yesterday. But Baylor completely nobody. The whole team's gone.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have X number of dollars to work with, and when you agree to something and then somebody comes back and says, no, I think I need a little bit more. I mean, we're watching all this play out with Tennessee, with Nico, now that he's gone to UCLA. But
I mean, you can't really even compare football and basketball to an extent. But yeah, you saw what he did, and Tennessee walked away. They said,
and then Nico got a worse deal. He
right.
ended up signing for much less.
Right. And now I don't know what they're paying Chad right now at Auburn. And I don't know what somebody else is willing to offer him. But I see the standpoint of, where is he going to go where he's going to already have his established?
That's it. I think that's what is the biggest thing for me, not to cut you off. I kind of read your mind there.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you, and what's the value that you're going to get that's going to make you give up your comfort level and the surroundings that you've been in for so long now to go play 1 year at a place you don't know anybody really, or trying to establish, maybe figure out what your role is?
And I was just saying on here 2 weeks ago or something about, I really think he's going to stay. He keeps posting on his stories and stuff. And then today he posts on his story, adios, Auburn.
Yeah. I think
you already planning on going somewhere else? Or are you?
It boils down to, you got X number of dollars, and it's roster management. We talk about it in football all the time now. And you got to do the same with basketball. And so you've already allocated certain amounts of value for people. And if somebody comes back and says, no, I need a little bit more than that. Well, if you give them more, that cuts into your total to give somebody else and maybe in a need position. So when you look at what Auburn's got here, and they added another piece, by the way, today that we'll get to, but you add so far Keyshawn Murphy from Mississippi State, Keyshawn Hall, which is a very similar player to Chad Baker from Central Florida. You had Abdul Bashir from JUCO, also 6'7". You have Sebastian Williams Adams coming in as a freshman at 6'8". So you're already loading that position down as far as what you're looking at. And so if you brought Chad Baker back, that's another guy there. And Auburn's deficient in what if Todd Pettiford doesn't come back, you got to go get you another guard. I mean, that's a no-brainer. They get Kevin Overton. That's the guy that we're going to talk about here in just a minute from Texas Tech. But, he's not really a point guard. And you're going to run Caden Magwood out there as a true freshman to run the point. So it's not about, okay, I don't want to give you more money, but we agreed on this. And then you come back and it's going to disrupt the whole plan of what we're trying to get together. I mean, I don't know.
Where are you putting your money between the two that we so-called are trying to keep right now between Chad and Tahad.
I'm putting my money with Tahad Pettiford.
Yeah, me too.
Tahad Pettiford, longevity-wise, superstar talent-wise, brings more value to the team.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, again, Chad Baker Mazar is an older guy. He's got 1 year of eligibility left. Now, if Tahad Pettiford comes back and shows out like I think you and I both know he will and get better from this past year, he's going to probably, he's going to get a higher draft grade and going to be gone. But I would rather put my money there. And
Right.
especially when I've got a boatload of guys that are similar to Chad Baker already.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, we've seen Chad be a liability for us too.
True.
But again, still want to keep him, still want him here. But
no doubt. And Bruce, I think he made it very clear, but this was
I think
his
maybe he
decision.
just felt threatened by the
Maybe
people coming in.
Maybe he did. Or, and you and I don't know, and I don't know that many do, the details of what everybody's getting, but maybe he got a little upset that somebody got more than he did. And so I don't know. That's an assumption on my part, but yeah, I think that kind of stuff happens. All right. So Auburn does add Kevin Overton from Texas Tech, a big guy, 6'5", physical. Texas Tech likes to play defense. So I think looking at his points per game, Faith, what is it, 7.8, I believe?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. It's not the most star-studded guy you could add to the offensive arsenal, but he plays really, really good defense. He's physical, and that's what Bruce Pearl coaches and this coaching staff coaches, and Auburn kind of hangs its hat on being a really good defensive team, so they felt like it was a good fit to go get.
Yeah, and again, I mean, he's a big guy. We still need we need Sahad to come back. I don't even want to.
Yeah, that would just solve so much.
Yeah, that would make me feel a lot more comfortable talking about any of this.
You and everybody else, I can tell you. So what does it look like for Auburn right now? Just kind of a recap on basketball. I'll let you run that down if you got it in front of you, Faith, on what we've gotten so far portal-wise and high school signees.
Yeah, we've got Keyshawn Murphy from Mississippi State, the big old 6'10" guy. Keyshawn Hall from UCF, 6'7". Amika, I'm going to butcher this.
Emeka Oporum.
Emeka Oporum from the JUCO, the 7-footer that I want to stand next to. And then
I can't wait to on the front row with Faith with Emeka Oporum. I mean, you're going to have to get some kind of elevated chair to get eye level with him.
Yeah, he's going to be a whole foot taller.
We're going to make that happen, by the way.
Yeah, we will. And then Abdul
Bashir.
Yeah, I'm too dyslexic for some of this sometimes. And then for our high school signees, we've got Caden Magwood, Sebastian Williams-Adams, and Simon Walker. So,
I mean, I think Auburn's class on 24/7 is like 14th or 13th in the country.
Yeah.
It's solid class. I mean, you add these guys in, and then you add, of course, Kevin Overton today, and still going to have to pick up a couple of pieces, but it's starting to take shape for Bruce Pearl and the staff for next year. We didn't mention Darren Scott got in the portal today.
Yeah.
No cut on him, but he's been there a couple of years and hadn't really ever seen any action.
He'll go be great somewhere else.
That's right. Right. We want everybody to go find their way, and
just like Jakai, he'll be great somewhere else too.
Right. How big would that be if he got out of the portal and came back? That'd be a nice jump back to the roster. I think he's got a massively high ceiling.
Absolutely.
You and I both wanted him to come back, even though maybe some things that he did earlier in the year was, kind of rubbed you the wrong way, maybe selfish. But again, young guy, got to grow, got to learn. But like you said, if he chooses to go on and be great somewhere else, that's what we want to. And, we wish all these guys nothing but the best. And it's a business decision. That's really kind of what it boils down to at this point for everybody. And I think Chad Baker, and the last thing we'll talk about there with him is that it was very obvious, and it's been made very clear that Bruce Pearl wanted him back on this team, had a role for him, and this was his decision and his camp's decision to go try this, shop around kind of deal that we're seeing all these guys in football and basketball try. And so they want to kind of gauge their market value. And I think if you're looking at football, like you said, you can't really compare the two sports, but Nico found out real quick. And I thought Cam Newton said it best on his podcast. You and I talked about that yesterday. Be very, very leery of the people that you take advice from, because you don't want to be taking advice from the wrong guys to steer you in the wrong direction and ruin your name and ruin your reputation. You better be confident in who's leading your camp, So I don't know if it was Nico's dad that was the main guy here or somebody else, but, they walked away from a really good deal at Tennessee and got a lesser deal at UCLA. It's that simple.
There's nothing else to say about that.
I think I texted you yesterday. I said, may go down as one of the biggest bonehead decisions in college sports. So
I'm just glad that it's nobody from our team.
Yep. Right now, anyway.
A win's a win for us.
Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about some more of our partners here halfway through here on this Friday morning. Sure Shot here in Alex City, Faith, great outdoors place.
Great outdoors place, right up 280. Firearms, apparel, hunting, sell and trade, new and used firearms. They've got different handguns that, ladies, if you want to carry around a handgun, make sure you know how to use it. So take one of their courses. They're going to teach you exactly how to use it, proper way to use it, when the right time is to pull it out to make sure everything is legal and safe and everything like that. And they're going to be able to help you dress for hunting anytime that you want to go out in the woods, stay warm, or like right now it's hot. They've got everything that you need. So call them up at 256-329-0080.
And they have that Browning sale continuing on, 10% off on Browning firearms. But like Faith said, for all you ladies out there, you need to learn how to use a firearm, protect yourself, but you need to know how to use it and be educated on it. So good opportunity for you to take that class. Oliver Ross.
If you have a party going on from 20 people up to 20,000 people, the certified and licensed bartenders at Oliver Ross will be able to keep you right. They will keep you in line while you're having your party, and you don't even have to worry about making a mess and embarrassing yourself or anything of the sort, because they're going to take care of you. They know exactly what they're doing, and all the sorority and fraternity date parties, socials, rush events, everything going on. Go ahead and talk to them now, because in the fall, when there are all of those socials and date parties, they're going to be all booked up. So go ahead and, once you guys get your social calendars out, go ahead and look for Oliver Ross to be your bartenders at those events.
And we know Mark well, Faith. Great guy, great business.
Great people.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be making a mess over there. I'd be spilling stuff and making a fool out of everybody. So
keep it to the professionals, myself included.
Yeah, man, we'd have crap spilled everywhere and sticky, and we'd be over there trying to clean it up and host a party at the same time, and just don't do that. Go ahead and call them. All right, we'll get to some more of our great partners here in just a minute. Let's shift over and talk about spring portal needs for football. And I hate to talk stuff to death, and I don't want to talk stuff to death, but this portal window is open now for Auburn, and there are some places that Auburn needs to go get some guys, and Coach Freeze made mention of that last Saturday after A-Day, and it's some of the positions that we all know. There's no breaking news here on any podcast or anything, so we just kind of give our own take on it. Let's start with offense. Kind of what's your thoughts there?
I told you last week at practice that the tight end spot has looked – we have not used that position the way that we should be able to, in the way that other programs have used the tight end spot.
Right.
Brandon Frazier, he was hurt last year for majority of the year. And Luke Deal was the tight end that he saw the ball some.
Right.
We had Rivaldo Fairweather too, but he was also he was
hit and miss.
Yeah. And I think if we have a tight end that is going to be utilized the right way and that is going to be able to, some of them have been fine at blocking and those kind of things, but I don't think we've seen a tight end that is as much of a threat on both blocking and, making plays happen. So that is where I think we have got to find somebody.
I definitely think we need to add one in that room. I mean, when you look at Brandon Frazier, he's definitely your starter. But again, like you said, been battling injuries. I mean, he's been injury prone his career. Then you look behind him, you got a couple of guys, Preston Howard, who transferred in. And then you got a former offensive lineman in Tate Johnson that's taking snaps there. And then you got Rico Walker. I mean, that's your tight end room right now. So, I think if you can go and find somebody that you can add to that room that'll to add some depth, you're definitely looking at that if you're Auburn. I look down this roster and depth chart on the offensive side, and I know this may sound crazy, but that's really the only – I agree with you. I don't see any other imminent needs out there in the portal. Auburn did such a good job in the first portal window of bringing in some guys like Horatio Fields and Eric Singleton.
People right now.
That's right. It's retention. It's roster retention. And, we talked about that yesterday with Braden Joyner and some of those guys. But if I look at this offense, I mean, you got some youth in some places, but, all the way across the offensive line, you're not subbing offensive linemen. Now you got to have depth because of injuries. But you look at Xavier Chaplin, Dylan Wade, Connor Lew, Jeremiah Wright, Mason Murphy, looking at those guys as your starters with a possibility of a Xavier Miller, too tall, battling for one of those tackle positions as well. So the offensive line looks as in good a shape as we've seen it in a long time. And then you look at running back, you got Damari Alston, Jeremiah Cobb, and Darrell Robinson and Alvin Henderson. And Darrell Robinson didn't really do anything in the spring. He's a bigger back that gives you an opportunity like on short yardage situations to come in there. But I think you and I both were impressed with Damari and Alvin Henderson and Jeremiah and what we were able to see in a few practices.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was kind of like Maddie with the seatbelt. Yeah. Wear your seatbelt. If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch the latest episode of On the Road with the HSA Network. It is worth your time to watch the intro. I'll just tell you that. The wide receivers, I'm not going to go through all the wide receivers. Please go watch it, everybody. Just go to the HSA Radio Network page. I posted it yesterday. It is a much watch, the intro. It's classic. All right, we'll shift over to the defensive side of the football. I'll let you start. Where do we need to fill some holes? And we've said it a million times.
Yeah, the gosh, it is late right now. The D line, I think.
No, it's not. It's really early. It's not late. It's early.
It's early. The line, I think that's where we need the most help right now. And again, we've talked it to death, but that truly is where we're looking for the most depth.
Well, let's look at why. We've said this a bunch, but let's look at why we keep saying this. Okay, so along the front, obviously you got an all SEC guy and possible All-American in Keldrick Faulk at defensive end. And then you've got Jamison Travis there at nose tackle that we feel like he's going to be your starter there. And then Malik Blockton at the other tackle position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Malik Blockton's a sophomore. And then behind those guys. You got Amaris Williams, who I think gives you really quality depth behind Keldrick Falk. That was a big deal to get him to stay and not get in the to get out of the transfer portal last year. And you and I were very impressed with him in the practices that we saw. I was able, all of us in the media were able to get some time with him after A-Day, and I thought his answers were awesome and talked about how Keldrick Falk really was a mentor and helped him along. But then you got a freshman in Antonio Coleman backing them up, and then at nose tackle you've got a transfer in Dallas Walker, and then you got a freshman in Jordan Crawford, and then at the tackle position you got Zycavius Walker, who is a redshirt senior, but then you got Malik Autry and Darian Smith, both freshmen, and I didn't even mention Jared Smith backing up on the other side with Keldrick Falk. I mean, just a boatload of really talented guys, but a lot of young guys.
That's the thing, is they're young guys, and we can go out there and I think there is a possibility to find more experienced guys that can come in and, I don't know if take over is the right word, but just be there for more depth. And I just think that there's a gap that can be mended.
I agree. And I think you and I talked about this. We have seen Freeze and these guys on the coach staff be able to go out and find key parts. You're not all Americans, but, go out and find, guys that are very serviceable. Dorian Mosey at linebacker, who I thought played outstanding last year. Had to have him. Loved Dorian. And then on the defensive front with Isaiah Rakes and Philip Bleedy, I mean, they were not burning the woods up by any stretch, but they added good depth to that defensive line. And so I think that's what you're looking for again. You're looking for some of that. And so defensive line at the linebacker position, I mean, let's just look at that. I mean, DeMarcus Riddick's a true sophomore. Think he's got all SEC, all-American potential. But he's getting better. Robert Woodyard has waited his turn and will be the middle linebacker this year. He's a redshirt junior, but has had very limited snaps. Obviously got more snaps last year. And then the buck position is Kieron Crawford, who I know you and I both have said 800 times that we love that guy. But, then you look at Elijah Melendez, who is going to be a tremendous player. J.J. Falk, who I thought looked really good in the A-Day periods. DJ Barber, redshirt freshman. I can go down the list, keep running these guys down. Bryce Dees. But you got, if you could go get one more elder statesman, for lack of better terms, like Auburn has done the past couple of years to kind of help with the maturity of that room, I think you go get one, maybe two, if you can.
Yeah, I just think that having another elder, I like that word, another elder.
Another me in comparison to you.
But seriously, they're going to have more experience, and we've seen plenty of times that you can only rely on the younger guys for so much. You can only expect so much from them.
I mean, how good did it help our receivers having KLS last year?
My point exactly. Right. So that's kind of where we see the part that's they're going to be able to contribute and add to them, like you said, the maturity, and just be another person to make it a denser kind of roster and deeper on that side.
No doubt. We don't ever talk about special teams, but it's sure great to see Alex McPherson back out there kicking. I think everybody's been pulling for that guy. Hey, and Towns Magoo, he's going to be a great kicker. I mean, he was thrust into action very early and had to do some things that
under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So I know he's grateful for Alex to be back, and so yeah, I'll end it there. But special teams with Alex McPherson being healthy really, really increases our stock there. So hopefully he'll stay there. and be fine. All right, DBs. There's no sense to. I mean, DBs, man. It's one of the. I think it's the most solid, probably position on the team.
Yeah, I think so too.
Even losing some guys here.
Yeah, but again, lost because
of
how stacked it is.
Right. Yep.
And again, that's what the transfer portal is used for sometimes.
Sylvester Smith and Anquan Fagan's there at free safety, and then at strong, Caleb Harrison, Tay Seymour, Eric Winters. This is an unbelievable group. And then the corners, Kay and Lee, Blake Woodby, Jay Crawford, Raiden Strader, Amon Lane Gaines, who is a redshirt freshman. I can just keep going down the list, man. And then Champ Anthony at that nickel, along with Tyler Scott and Jaquez Robinson. This is a very, very strong group in the secondary.
A deep group for sure.
Yep.
And seen a lot of good things from them. Not only from last year, but this spring too.
I like DJ Durkin. I've said that to you 100 times. He is a tremendous coach. I love his energy. It's what you want in a defensive coordinator. And so, yeah, they they take on his persona. And the way they fly around and the way they have a ton of energy. So
he brings a lot to the program.
Right. Just to kind of give where we are here taping this show, Auburn and Texas are tied in the 7th, 2-2 in baseball. So Auburn playing the number 1 team in the country. And, Auburn's playing really good right now. They've won 6 games in a row. They're all the way up to number 6 in the country. So playing the number 1 team out in Austin. So let's see how that all ends up. Again, I think this baseball team is proving a lot of people wrong right now, predicted to finish 12th preseason. Again, they've got some really tough series here in a row with Tennessee and Ole Miss coming up after this one. But, if they can just maintain and just not get swept in any of these, you really like your chances to host a regional again.
Yeah, absolutely.
How fun would that be?
You know that I would enjoy that a lot.
Absolutely. Always good to be able to play at home if you can. All right, going to wrap up with some more of our partners here on the program. Again, can't say enough about them. Old Number One Customs, Faith. Have you ever heard of a group being able to come in and remodel a kitchen or bathroom in 2 weeks and get out?
Why DIY it for 2 years when you can have it done in 2 weeks by Old Number One Customs?
Jake, I told him, I don't think he even knows. I think he's watched and he's heard your tagline now. But I'm going to be shocked if he doesn't adopt what you've branded here.
Jake, you need to hit me up. I got you.
Yep. Yeah, but you're right. Don't do it yourself. Get the professionals to do it. Don't. Your wife's sitting there been jumping
let her go on a trip for 2 weeks.
Right.
And when she comes home and sees the house done after going on a trip for 2 weeks,
that's right,
she's just going to love you even more. I promise.
Who can go on a trip for 2 weeks?
I don't know. Hopefully the people that can watch this podcast.
I hope so. Maybe so. Hey, 3.99% APR to finance, and you don't have to put any money down. So, go do that. It's a no-brainer. I don't understand why you're waiting. Old Number One Customs, call them, check them out, and they will take care of your renovation projects. And JFA Blue Plumbing, Faith, we have to drink clean water for all of our health. Our pets, our children, all of us need to be drinking clean water.
Stop poisoning your kids and animals and get JFA Blue Plumbing at your house to help you out with a new water filter system because you're poisoning your body.
Just go look at what comes out of the tap in one of these filters, and I promise you will sprint to go buy one of these things. $15.99 to come in and have it installed and everything. And are you kidding me? $15.99 is so minuscule when it comes to your health and your life.
Just look at the medical bills you'll be paying when you find out what this water has done to your body before.
Right. And we live in probably the country that has the cleanest water in the world, and we still need to drink filtered water. So the number, Faith, give it to everybody.
I want to call them just because they got this number. It is 844 JFA Blue. Do you know how easy that is to remember?
Yeah, Faith.
The easiest.
She just randomly dials it throughout the day just because it's fun.
Come on, it's fun. It's a little mind game. Where's the letters?
JFA Blue Plumbing for the home water filter by Atlas Duo. Go call them, like Faith said, now. Don't wait. Get that clean water coming through your house.
Stop poisoning your animals.
Stop poisoning everybody. So, all right, Faith, it's been a great morning. We will be at JR's today, our first on location for the Auburn Blitz podcast. We are about full for it didn't take long. We've got some announcements that we'll make starting next week on some new partners that will be joining us on the Auburn Blitz. You and I had some really good meetings, met some great people today, had some great meetings there that'll be joining our group, and we're excited about that. But starting really today and then moving all the way through fall, we are going to be on location most of the time on Fridays. Sometimes it'll be Thursdays and maybe some random days here and there for promotions that some of these businesses want us to be present for. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Or just whenever. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Very, very grateful for the experience and all of the people that we're meeting along the way. So it's been a really great time and excited to get the first one under our belt today. Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. Going to be fun. Come out to JR's and see us. If you're in Alexander City. And look, JR's has been with us with R&B Media for a long time, partners with our program, and they wanted to jump in and be part of what we're doing here on the Auburn Blitz side on our own location stuff, and they're just a natural fit. It's great food. Look, Faith loves the food. I love the food, and I don't know what she's going to order today. I already know what I'm ordering today, and so just come on out. It's great times. It's a great atmosphere, just like all the other places that we're partnered with. All right, Faith, we're going to get rolling. We want to wish everybody a good Friday here because it is Good Friday.
Yes, it is.
So it's the best Friday, right?
Yes, it is the best Friday. I hope everybody has the best day ever today. Do something good.
And we're heading into Easter weekend. Obviously, Good Friday today and then Easter Sunday coming up. So we hope everybody has a great weekend. Spend it with your family, some quality time. Remember the reason that we celebrate and everything that Jesus did for all of us here and allowing us to be who we are here on this earth. So hope everybody has a fun and safe weekend, Easter weekend, best day ever, and a big old